Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the all-new 2022 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Toyota here in Murray, Utah for giving me some time with this TRD Pro. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get right into the review. Under the hood of the TRD Pro, we have the iForce Max, which is a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 paired to a hybrid system and a 10-speed automatic transmission. Total system output is 437 horsepower and then 583 pound-feet of torque, with fuel economy being 18 around town and then 20 on the highway. So let's go over the front end of the TRD Pro. First off, you have the cool TRD Pro decal here on the side, which, yeah, just the print looks fantastic. And then coming down below, you can see here we've got the daytime running lights with the LED headlamps, and then you got the accenting down below that. Parking sensors here on the front end with the fog lights. We also have the LED light bar here in the center with the marker lights and then the old school Toyota logo. We've got skid plates underneath to help out with protection. Notice with the TRD logo, which looks pretty cool. You can see all the red accenting as well. We've got 10.9 inches of ground clearance with the TRD Pro package. And yeah, I think this truck, and again, the marker lights there on the side as well, just looks fantastic from a front end perspective. Now, coming around the side here, I've got 285mm tires wrapped around 18-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. You've got the BBS forged wheels that come with the TRD Pro, and again, with the coloration, just looks absolutely fantastic. You guys can see here with these Falcon Wild Peak all-terrain tires, they've got a decent amount of sidewall, and you can see just how aggressive the tread pattern is there. Now, we do have the TRD tuned suspension and TRD tuned Fox shocks that also come with the Pro package, and you guys kind of saw earlier with a lot of the red accenting underneath. We do have independent front suspension. Then I love the military themed print here for the fender flares. Got the splash guard right there. And then I notice with the mirrors, so they have a satin finish on them. You can see here with the pillars. And then notice door handles again with that satin finish. And then same thing with the military print here in the rear. Now we do have the new multi-link suspension in the rear, and then you can see there just how beefy that shock is in the rear. And then another splash guard right there. And then if we take a few steps back, also notice the marker light there in the back fender flare. There's your full side view. And again, in full production format, this thing looks really cool. So here's a key fob for the TRD Pro. It's a regular Toyota key fob, but we've got the hold down to drop down the tailgate. We have a payload capacity of 1,355 pounds, which gives it a higher payload capacity compared to like a Ford Raptor, for example. Notice here with the new bed liner, it's really abrasive. It's something that Toyota's doing on the new Tundra, which is really cool. And then you guys can see here with the LED light. And then we do have an outlet here in the bed on top of that. And yeah, the whole thing is protected. This has this cool tonneau cover, which is from the factory. And yeah, when you're all done, in terms of lifting it up, it's light and easy to get in place, and it makes a nice clicking sound. But pro tip, this button here on the side also drops down the tailgate. So I've got to get into the far corner here to film like the 3/4 angle on the truck. But we have the signature Tundra taillights here. Notice this says TRD Pro instead of Tundra there. And then we've got parking sensors in the rear. Again, more of that military print with that. And then, of course, we've got the TRD Pro exhaust tips poking out the side, which looks really cool and aggressive. And yeah, other than that, that is everything for the rear. Let's pop inside. Now here's the door panel in the rear. You guys can see with the red stitching that goes across and then down below. And then again here with the seats, they have that cool military theme here in the center. And then again, more of that red stitching all throughout. Got this nice grab handle, so we'll quickly pop in. Here's legroom. Headroom as well. And then you got the storage pocket right here. A couple cup holders, more storage space. Charging ports down below. And then we have our cup holder armrest situation right here. And yeah, super spacious back here, but yeah, seats are definitely a cool thing. Let's head to the front. Now here's the front door panel. You guys can see with the padding and the red stitching all throughout. And then a quick look at the mirror. All of our window controls here, the door lock and unlock. The mirrors do power fold in. Got your memory seat control. Look at this trim piece right there. And here's the front seat. Again, notice this is TRD Pro, and then you can see the print design all down the center. Power adjustments right there. And then notice the pedal layout down below. Really nice looking pedals. Tundra TRD Pro again. Got your heated steering wheel button control here. This is for the TRD light bar to turn that on or off. I love how it just has like this big prominent switch for it. Light control, that's for the gas cap release. And then you got like your collision assistance. Steering wheel is manually adjustable. Let's pop in. Now here is the steering wheel for the TRD Pro. You have the cool marker there at the top in red, and then perforated leather here all around the steering wheel so you can get a better grip. And then also the stitching around the airbag cover. TRD logo there at the bottom. This does come with adaptive cruise control. You've got the lane keep assist as well, and then you can see with the windshield wiper stock, turn signal light stock, and then notice with our volume and voice command controls. And yeah, this is now my new favorite Toyota steering wheel. So we have our full digital gauge cluster here. I love how it says iForce Max there off to the side, which is pretty cool. The truck just turned back on. Again, let's say hybrid, which is pretty interesting. But anyways, you've got these different menus you can scroll through here on the side. Like notice here with the trailer tow information. But basically just gives you info on the truck. I think the overall appearance is great. Now we do have some different drive modes. We have our normal, eco, and sport drive modes that we can go between. Notice it shows the powertrains changing when we go into the different drive modes. This also has the multi-terrain select, but for some reason when I'm putting the truck into four-wheel drive, it's not going into four-wheel drive. So I'm, as you can see, pressing the four-wheel drive high button. Doesn't do anything. I went forward and backwards a little bit because sometimes you got to do that with four-wheel drive systems. But yeah, it's not doing it. So I can't show you guys the different drive modes with the multi-terrain select, sadly, but we'll still talk about it in a minute. Now here's the infotainment system. This has a massive infotainment system, and so the camera view is fantastic. Resolution is really solid. You guys can see backup view, and then we also have the bird's eye view, and then you can change the camera viewpoints. And then when you're in the off-road modes or when you're in four-wheel low, it'll have the front camera on, which is pretty cool, and it basically shows like side camera views when you have the front camera on. Just go watch my Tundra TRD off-road, like it was a TRD off-road package, off-road review, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. I show it in that video. And then I wonder if this will actually, there you go, there's the view I'm talking about. So now you guys can see, this is kind of like your off-road review here with the truck. That was a lot easier than I thought. Toyota, good engineering with that. Anyways, as for the rest of the infotainment system, you've got the shortcut bar here on the side where you can scroll through different menus here with the Tundra. Really easy to use, response time is fantastic, and yeah, it's a great infotainment system. Now down below you guys can see here for the radio dial, just looks so cool and durable. We've got our dual zone climate controls, heated and cooled seats, got the USB port there off to the side. We've got this for our trailer tow mode. This is for the camera view button, so you can see it gives us like this weird 360 view, and that is definitely not a TRD Pro. But it's cool that it gives us the viewpoint, right? Stability control here, hazard lights, rear locker, and then we've got a couple blank switches. We've got our auto hold here with the parking brake, shifter for that 10-speed automatic, and just look at the coloration on it. And then our drive line select, we have two-wheel high, four-wheel low. And then our drive mode select here. So again, we have the regular on-road drive modes, your tow haul mode, multi-terrain select, and then we've got our crawl control. So this will obviously help you out if you're going down a steep hill. With the multi-terrain select, it's just your off-road modes. So basically you're mostly going to use that when you're in like four-wheel low and you're doing some like low-speed crawling with the Tundra TRD Pro. But again, this has the Fox shocks, so this can also handle high-speed off-roading as well. Anyways, red stitching here, and then also on the center console as well, and I love the print right there. And then you can see with the storage space inside. And then pretty normal glove box setup. Nice padding here on the dash. Look at the Toyota logo in red. Love this interior. And then finishing things up here at the top, we do have a panoramic sunroof. You can see the controls for the sunroof right here. And then we do have a power setting window. The whole window goes down with the TRD Pro. And camera mirror. So we've got that nice bit of safety tech, but there you go. So here's a window sticker for the TRD Pro. You guys can see like the color, for example, and then here's the standard equipment. Feel free to freeze the frame if you want to read through all of that. And then again, with fuel coming on over earlier. So here's the base price, $66,805, and this has a few options added to it. Total MSRP, $70,573. And let's get a quick exhaust clip and then we'll sum things up. So we're outside here to sum things up for our video on the TRD Pro, and this is just my initial thoughts. Obviously, I haven't had a chance to drive the truck yet, but I did have a chance to live with a TRD off-road package for a week. And the TRD Pro is obviously a step above a TRD off-road package because it has more advanced shocks, it has the hybrid system as well, and obviously more ground clearance, all the off-road goodies. But here's what I'd have to say about the TRD Pro after seeing this in person with my initial impressions, and obviously I'll have driving impressions in the future once I have a chance to drive one of them. I think the truck looks amazing in person. This is my favorite Tundra from an exterior aesthetics perspective. It just has this really cool aggressive stance. Now, it's not super high up off the ground in terms of its stance, but it still looks really, really good on the outside. And then I love the interior as well. It's a really nice looking interior with all the red accenting. It looks really cool. It definitely has this premium feel to it. And obviously a lot of people are going to be talking about the price of the truck, $70,000, but here's the deal. The new Chevy Silverado ZR2, which that directly competes against, those are kind of in their both little segment here because they both have like advanced shocks, but they're not quite in like Raptor or TRX level. But anyways, it competes against the ZR2 and the GMC Sierra AT4X. It is less expensive than both of those trucks because the ZR2 now is over $70,000 fully loaded, and that's a fully loaded TRD Pro. And then the AT4X is like $77,000 fully loaded. And so, you know, in its particular segment, it's actually a value play, and it actually has the most horsepower and most torque. So again, I'll be excited to take it off-road and see what it's actually made of. But initial impressions, I'm actually really impressed. And you know, I know it's a lot of money, but I think that Toyota has priced it right for the segment that the TRD Pro lives within. Let me know what you guys think about it. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Toyota here in Murray for giving me some time with that TRD Pro. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see you guys.